Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. Well, we need to talk about this. Projections for Avatar: The Way of Water are actually less than Wakanda Forever. So this is a big deal because Disney spent a lot of money making this movie. They spent something in the order of $1 billion making this movie. James Cameron has recently been quoted that to break even, the movie needs to do $2 billion of business. That's a lot of business. The original Avatar actually did do well. If you look at the releases in the box office for Avatar, there have been multiple releases. Altogether, the domestic releases brought in $785 million. That's a lot of money. To give you some perspective, the original Black Panther, Black Panther 1, brought in $700 million domestically. Also, tremendous number, very successful. Wakanda Forever right now is at $303 million. They're going to get more domestically, no question about it. Will people see Black Panther Wakanda Forever multiple times? I don't think so. The international is trailing the domestic. Not a great sign because they need those international dollars to make things happen. So Black Panther Wakanda Forever, most of us expect it's going to do less than $1 billion compared to Black Panther's $1.3 billion. But Avatar, the first movie, did $2.1 billion internationally. Incredible hit domestically, but even bigger hit internationally. That's just under $3 billion worldwide. It's James Cameron. You're going to take a shot at a movie like this. But the initial numbers are not coming in all that big. Let's get into this article from Cosmic Book News. They did a great job on this. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up when you like it. We appreciate you guys. The channel's been growing. Thank you so much for that. Okay, Avatar: The Way of Water opening box office tracking less than Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And with those numbers, how is it supposed to outperform both Star Wars and Spider-Man? More potential bad news for Disney's Avatar: The Way of Water, as the flick's box office opening is tracking less than the opening of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And again, it's not like Wakanda Forever was a total failure. It's making a lot of money. It did cost a lot of money to make. They need about $800 million to break even theatrically for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. They may or may not get it. The early estimates are offering Avatar: The Way of Water may open to $150 million domestically when it debuts in December, with the higher $175 million number possible. Black Panther Wakanda Forever opened to $181 million, while the first Avatar movie, released in 2009, only brought in $77 million for its opening weekend. That was a much different time, and Avatar was something new. People were amazed by Avatar when it first came out. It had incredibly long legs to it, meaning people wanted to see it. They saw it again and again. They told all their friends about it. It was a cultural phenomenon, if you remember, a lot like Black Panther 1 was. That's fantastic, but people know what it is now. So when you've got an Avatar sequel coming out, it should be tracking bigger than Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because if it's doing a little less, than Wakanda Forever, that's a concern. It's a problem. The movie had massive legs and a massive international box office. Its domestic run ended with just short of $750 million, with foreign gross at a massive $1.993 billion. I mean, look at that international number, is incredible. This is with all of the releases combined, because it's more than 1.993. $2.1 billion internationally. Can they do that again now? China has agreed to release the sequel, which is funny. Bob Iger's back. All of a sudden, they're friends with China again over at Disney. China's releasing it. How much did China do in the first run of Avatar? They did about $200 million US. China gives you 25% of the box office, so you wind up with $50 million. Just so you know, internationally is an average of around 40% in most countries. It's 25% in China. Domestically, you get about 50%. Sometimes Disney is able to cut deals where they get 60%. It's all to be negotiated. The Black Panther Wakanda Forever domestic box office is running in line with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and that finished with a domestic haul of $411 million. So if Avatar: The Way of Water performs similarly, it's likely a 60% drop. Wakanda Forever also looks to finish with less than $1 billion, yes, for sure. Also worth questioning is the international box office for Way of Water going to come anywhere near the original $2 billion number. It seems unlikely. I mean, it was a miracle. All things must have lined up perfectly to do that. Sure, they're not going to get Russia and Ukraine. Those are small markets anyway. But really, got the China release. But the movie is 3 hours and 12 minutes. This is something that's gotten out of control with filmmakers. If you've got a 3-hour and 12-minute movie, it may be a better movie than Wakanda Forever. I would assume it's going to be a really well-done movie. James Cameron is James Cameron. He's a legend. However, it means less showings in theaters, too. You can't show it as many times. It's an actual capacity limitation. Well, Avatar: Way of Water hit $2 billion at the box office. James Cameron recently said it needs to make around $2 billion to break even, and that would put Way of Water above Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens opened domestically to over $247 million, finishing with $936 million domestically, and brought in $1.13 billion internationally. Spider-Man: No Way Home made just short of $2 billion and had a domestic weekend opening of a whopping $260 million to finish with an $804 million domestic gross. The flick also made another $1.1 billion internationally without China. So if Way of Water hits $2 billion, it needs a huge international support. You've got to do internationally on this movie. I mean, it will probably beat Wakanda Forever, but is it going to do more business domestically than it did for the first film? I mean, that's not realistic. Or maybe it does in the range of Black Panther 1, $700 million. But is that going to be anywhere near the number that they need? Cameron hinted as well that there may not be more sequels if there isn't as much interest in the movie. He said, the market could be telling us we're done in 3 months, or we might be semi-done, meaning, okay, let's complete the story with movie 3 and not go on endlessly if it's just not profitable. Regarding hitting $2 billion, Cameron said, the movie is very effing expensive, and told the studio that the film represented the worst business case in movie history, but he wanted to make the movie. The studio wanted to support him. You can't blame the studio. I wouldn't blame the studio for this. I don't blame Chapek for this. It's good that Iger is back and they're able to get China back. I definitely think that has something to do with Iger. But let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Do you think they're going to do this? Do you think they're going to do $2 billion internationally and nearly $1 billion domestically? I don't know. There isn't as much excitement for Avatar as you would think there would be. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.